The UCLA-USC rivalry features a new twist, and like the other ones, this one's showing no signs of slowing down. The Bruin and Trojans racing teams are ready to start their engines in a clash at the Coliseum on February 4th. Both schools have student-run programs in which they design, build, and race open-wheeled cars. Painter Lopez caught up with the engineering students recently and got to check out their impressive rides.
I'm sure everybody asks you this, how fast can it go?
Quite fast. The car only weighs 447 pounds, so you can imagine that's 10% of the weight that your car, your regular commuter car weighs, with, I would say, like more than half the horsepower depending on the car, so it's quite fast.
What's it like to sit in this car knowing that this is the one that, this team is going to be racing on Saturday?
It's amazing. Definitely, very nerve-wracking.
I don't imagine there's been a lot of females as the chief engineer.
No, actually, so the team has been established since 1997, and I'm the first female chief engineer since, so quite an exciting accomplishment for me, I would say.
How did your love of cars come about?
A lot of it just comes from being in LA my whole life, and I would say the car culture here in LA is just super prevalent.
At my home, we used to have a Volkswagen Sentinel. That's the car we have, and I'm really not being so fascinated about cars, but when I come here and I see the passion of our students, and so many people who love cars and just gather together working on the car, that's when you truly realize, oh, if you have some passion about this thing, you can actually make it possible.
When you look at this, what are your emotions like? I imagine there's a lot of pride.
It's a cool big boy's toy, So I still like to show off to many people who don't like cars or who don't have an interest in motorsports that check out how cool this is. This is all student-built, student-designed, student-raised cars.
You guys will have the competition with UCLA, so what is that rivalry like between these two racing teams?
So we are definitely friendly with UCLA. It's a friendly rivalry.
Less than a rivalry, but more of a competition.
We know what it's like in football and basketball and other sports, but what's the rivalry like?
I'm happy to say it's very, very friendly.
I actually am friends with a couple of the USC drivers.
But of course, it's a competition.
You still want to win?
Yeah.
As you sit here and look at your final project, what sense of pride does this give you?
It's incredible the amount of time and work the members put into this car. People sacrifice 30, 40, 50 hours a week to help this thing run, and it's not just one person or two people. It's probably 70, 80 people that contribute to this car. Just to see everyone come together like that is just really cool.
When you look at this, what's the coolest thing for you?
Personally, my role in this car was the suspension. So everything you see that, like these white tubing components, the shocks, the bell cranks, that's just one part out of the whole vehicle, but that's what I focus on a lot, and it helps contribute a lot to the vehicle dynamics and handling of the whole car.
What is it like to drive a car that you helped build?
It's super fun. This is unlike anything I've ever driven before, in like a go-kart or any kind of street car.
What's sort of the most unique thing, about this car?
I'd say the most unique thing is just that it's completely student-built. Just seeing something this big and this like well-managed by young people is super cool.
What do you imagine it'll be like at the Coliseum, both for your guys' competition and then of course knowing that NASCAR is racing on that track the next day?
Yeah, it's gonna be very surreal.
It's one of the coolest things in our club for sure.
Good to see a friendly USC-UCLA rivalry.